Hey everyone, hope you're well and welcome to today's video. Now I'm going to be posting regularly on both YouTube and on our research page at Ceniqa.com as a way for me to convey anything that I feel may be beneficial or helpful for the Ceniqa community or anyone who's watching and help you guide in the right direction when it comes to finance, trading, investing, etc. Now, hot topic for today, which I'm going to talk about, is scams, okay? Now, let's be very casual and let's just go straight to the point. I want to just cover down each and every possible scam that is on the market right now so we are able to identify and not fall into bad situations, okay? Now, in order for us to not go around in circles, I'm going to break it down into three parts. Let's talk about the general financial markets. We're then going to talk about cryptocurrency specifically, being a new industry. A lot of people are falling victims to scams simply because it's a brand new industry and not everyone has the level of knowledge and competence behind how everything works. So we're going to talk about those two, and then lastly we're going to talk about what is not a scam, because sometimes as well we have to also appreciate that some people are throwing this word scam around and not necessarily towards the right parties, etc. Okay, but we'll get to that. Now, firstly, in terms of finance as a whole, I'm talking about trading, stocks, shares, investments, etc. Very common scam, which is very, very common, and I've seen it quite a lot on social media, is the scam of money flips. You may see this message: send me £200, I'm going to send you back £2,000. Guys, let's be honest with ourselves, okay? Okay, it's not the Nigerian prince sending you an email saying that he's got 50 million ready for you, but at the same time, we have to understand that if something sounds too good to be true, it's typically too good to be true. Just ask yourself the question: how does it make sense? Why am I gonna send £200 to your bank account and then for you to send me £2,000 back? Where is the logic behind it? Okay. Now, I understand some people are in a bad situation in life and they get enticed by these promises. However, at the same time, there's also sometimes no excuse for us to be falling into such scams, okay? Firstly, you should never send across capital money to someone's personal bank account, especially if you don't know them. Okay, let alone family and friends. Especially if it's a stranger, you should not be sending money towards someone's bank account. The only case you're going to be sending money or paying for something is if it's a registered company, if it's a regulated company, if they're doing regulated service. So if someone's going to do an investment service, or if someone's going to trade on your behalf, or if someone's going to do anything to do with finance on your behalf, he has to be regulated. For example, some companies trade on people's accounts. They have to be regulated to do certain activities, okay? That's number one. Number two, a common scam that I find is signals. Let's be honest, guys. Signals is also a common scam that's out there. And the way it's a scam is, again, they're giving you promise of hitting a certain amount of return. They're giving you certain guarantees, etc. And in the financial markets, there's no guarantee whatsoever. The only guarantee that you have is that your capital is at risk. The moment you put money into a trading account, expect that to be at risk. That amount of money, expect the possibility you could lose it all, okay? Now, you will find some companies promising you massive scale returns. For example, I've seen some posts, people promising you £50 is going to grow to £100, £200, £300 in a single trade. Come on, guys. This is exactly the same as the first scenario. Send me £200 and I'll send you £2,000 back. If they're telling you, you just need £50, follow these trades and you're going to make £500 today, it's too good to be true, guys. Okay? Number three in the finance world is what's called a Ponzi scheme. A Ponzi scheme is where they bring a lot of investors. A lot of investors come in and they promise returns, and they actually do get the returns. Okay, so can you see as we're going through 1, 2, and 3, it's getting more and more sophisticated. The first one, very basic, just send me £200, send you £1,000 back, straight scam. The moment you send it to them, they've blocked you and they've disappeared. The second one is signal service companies that are promising you large returns, which is unrealistic. And then the third one now is a Ponzi scheme. Now a Ponzi scheme can be very sophisticated. They can be a registered company, they can have an amazing website, they can be a credible person, they could be someone else on LinkedIn, etc. However, you also find that the underlying asset, the underlying factor is always the same. If it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true. Okay? So a Ponzi scheme is where investors put in money. For example, let's say we have 5 investors, everyone puts in £100. Okay? Everyone puts in £100 and there's a promise of a return. This time the return may be a bit realistic. They might say, oh, you'll get back 5% or 10% a month. It could be realistic. But remember, everyone's put in £100, right? And there's 5 investors there. So that's 100, 200, 3, 4, 500 in total. And he's gonna then use, the Ponzi scheme is then gonna use that pool of £500 maybe to pay off the first person. He might get his return. He'll get back £110. And he can do the same for the second guy and the third guy, etc. All while maintaining this pool and then influencing these 3 people who have received the payout to either put more money in or to bring in more investors. This is known as a Ponzi scheme. Can you see how it works? And of course, in the end, once there's enough money for the Ponzi scheme to then just disappear, they will do so and everyone will lose out. Okay? So that's something to be really careful of, and just be aware of how things work. That's how you're going to avoid. Having competence is going to avoid you falling into anything unfortunate. Okay?